Hello you guys, good morning. This is Jayska from the Dominant Sticks YouTube channel. And it is morning here in eastern Kentucky. It's a beautiful morning. The skies are clear and they're blue. There's just not no clouds or nothing in the sky. I don't know if y'all can see it. I'll try to zoom in on it. There's a little plane flying there. I see it. I don't know if y'all can see it or not. Try to zoom in on it. Let's see if I'm pointing in the right direction or not. If I can find it. I can't find it, I'll zoom back out. But I seen it up there in the sky. Plane flying around. It's gorgeous this morning. It's kind of a little bit cool out here. But that's just because it's the morning time. Let's see what the thermometer says, what temperature it is. It's a little bit close to 40 degrees outside, Fahrenheit. I just took some trash out to the trash bin. They're not going to be able to come here until Monday to get my septic tank pumped out. So that sucks, but it is what it is, I guess. It sucks. Nobody wants to work no more. Nobody hasn't wanted to work in here in eastern Kentucky. Well, ever since I've been alive, there's been people that's not wanted to work. But it was starting to get bad before the 2019, 2020 stuff. It was even getting bad before that about people not wanting to work. I'd say it was getting bad about that, about people not wanting to work, probably about 5 years or so before around here. People just don't want to work. People don't ever want to work no more. And then after the 2019, 2020 stuff happened, sun's out and it's gorgeous. I didn't stay up last night. Well, I was in the bed watching TV, but I didn't go out and look at the blood moon that we had last night. I didn't go out last month either on the 13th and look at the snow moon we had. I did look at the one in January though, the wolf moon that we had. I did go outside and look at it. But no, the 2019, 2020 cough stuff, that made it worse on everybody about not wanting to work. And the GOV, in my opinion, made it so easy back then, giving people that much money. There was a lot of people getting paid better on unemployment back then. And this is just my channel, in my opinion. You don't have to like it. You can leave. Or you can just keep your mouth shut or whatever. But anyways, and we all have opinions. But back then, the unemployment stuff that the GOV was handing out around here, especially in rural places, that was a whole lot better than what their normal jobs was at their normal pay. So they was racking it up, loving it. And a lot of people was loving it working from home, which I don't blame them or nothing. But they was loving it. So, and then they didn't want to go back to work. And then I just think people in general, even, and I'm talking about able-bodied people. I'm talking about able-bodied people that there's nothing wrong with them, that they can work. But people in general don't want to work, and it doesn't matter like anymore. It hasn't mattered for years, even decades really. That's what I'm talking about. Like around here, it's the opposite of what people think really in these rural small places like this where I live at. But people think just because, or I think people think just because of the Bible and what the Bible says, like a man's supposed to work from the sweat of his brow, that's realistically not how people are around here. Maybe generations ago, like 100 years ago or so, people were probably more like that. But No, people are not like that. And everybody wants to blame it on everybody else's generation or whatever. Well, I do blame a lot of things on the baby booming generation, and I'll continue to do so. I'm not saying the baby booming generation was lazy or nothing like that, but I do think that they're the cause and don't have no understanding of a lot of the economic problems and stuff that exist today. And I think they're the cause of a lot of it too. That's just my opinion. The flowers are starting to bloom out a little bit, but it's morning time, like I said, so fog and stuff is still on the ground. But anyways, I know, like, I'm just using from what my life, from what I've witnessed in life and stuff too. But men want to be taken care of, and that's been going on for a long time, even before the 2019, 2020 stuff. They want to be took care of. They don't want to work. They're just like how women think it should be. You know, a lot of women, I should say, think it should be. A lot of men are the same way. And it even goes on around here. I mean, it's not like what a lot of people think, oh, this area is like the Bible Belt. It's like the Bible believing belt country or whatever, side of the country or whatever. I mean, yeah, it might be a little bit, but it's not as much as what people think. And people will use circumstances and things too to make people think that if they can get by with it. People are not as dumb as what they think. Some people think that they are. And even dumb people, like, yeah, there's people I hate on that I call dumb. They're not dumb because they know how to play the system. They know how to get by with everything. So, and they know what they're doing. They know how they're acting or what they're doing to play dumb and stuff. So, but I know a lot of people who are like that, who will lie and act like they're not lying, and say and do whatever it takes, just so they get whatever they want. In other hand, or in other words, or whatever. It's beautiful out here, though. The skies are beautiful, blue, and crystal clear blue. We'll walk up here on the railroad tracks and look over the bottom at the garden. I think a lot of people are starting to plow up their gardens and stuff and get them ready to start sowing seeds and stuff in them, I guess. But no, nobody wants to work nowadays. And this started happening around here anyways, long before the 2019, 2020, all through those years type stuff. Here's what the garden looks like. I guess it's as big or as much as they're gonna dig up, plow up, whatever. That's what it looks like, though. But anyways, men are worse than women in a lot of ways by them not wanting to work. Because if you're going by the Bible the way it should be, the man's supposed to be the one, even if the economy's whatever, even if it takes a couple or a family or two or however many it takes nowadays because of the economy to live what the word says from the Creator. It says man is supposed to work from the sweat of his brow. And you don't see a whole lot of men doing that nowadays. I haven't seen a whole lot of men, able-bodied men is what I'm talking about. Able working body people is what I'm talking about. Whether you're male or female. I haven't seen or witnessed a lot of people who's been like that in years. And I ain't talking about these people who are liars either, and so-called claim that they're such Christian, or whatever you want to call it, people or whatever who will lie and say, oh, they can't work, they got this and that, they got anxiety, they got depression, they got PTSD from their childhood whenever they don't know what trauma's about. Most of them that I know that are like that, they don't know anything about trauma. Or they'll say, oh, they get headaches or dizzy or nauseousness or whatever. They can't work or nothing like that because of that. And or whatever. They'll just do and say whatever it takes because the GOV makes it so easy for people in a lot of ways like that. And that's just my opinion, to get things and do things. That's been going on for decades, especially in rural areas like this. Because, yeah, another side to all that is there hasn't been a lot of jobs. There's not a lot of places for people to work at, especially now. Ever since, I would say the last decade or so. There's no jobs really at all. There's no jobs. And two, you have to, if you do have a job, if you're not college educated, if you didn't have that privilege to go to college and have a support system and have better means in life and stuff, more than likely, if you live in a rural place like this, you'll probably never get out of the situation, whatever situation you're in, because of your environment. Your environment means everything in life. The location of where you live at means everything in life. That's something I've learned since my 43 years of living life. And like I was telling you all in a different video, I will do that on a different video. I won't do it on this one. But like whenever you're looking at real estate, I've come to learn, and I've been looking at real estate I'm not a real estate person. I'm not a realtor or whatever. But I know probably a good lot, maybe not as much as they know on all the details or whatever. But I know enough that what it matters, because I have spent all my adult lives of ever since I became an adult and lived on my own, I've spent even before that really, even whenever I was living with my parents still and I was married or whatever, I have spent every day or every other day of my life since I've been an adult looking at real estate, whether it be in magazines or whether it be online, since it went online and everything went digital. I have always looked at real estate, and real estate, different areas, different counties, different locations. And I've always kept my eyes on it. The longest I've ever went without watching real estate, because I've always wanted to move, is been like maybe like 1, 2, or maybe 3 at the most months without looking at real estate. Look how gorgeous those skies is, those blue, almost turquoise looking, so beautiful. But anyways, I have spent so much time in my adult life looking at real estate and stuff enough to know things. And what used to maybe like 2 decades back, maybe like 20 years ago or so, what used to sell houses and stuff used to be like kitchens and bathrooms, master bedrooms. People still want all that, but used to, when people had money and there was more jobs and like around here in these rural places, the coal mining industry used to be a big old thing. But that pretty much fell off the wagon, or whatever you want to call it, pretty much for the most part back in 2014. So, I mean, there still is coal mines, don't get me wrong or nothing, but there's just not that many. Maybe like under a handful of coal mines here in Letcher County that I know of. I could be wrong though. But, and I would say it's the same and stuff probably in like West Virginia and stuff, because I know people who live in Kentucky and still work in the coal mines, and they will go to Western Virginia or West Virginia or whatever. They'll go to West Virginia to have coal mining jobs and work in the coal mines. So, and I don't know if there's any in Virginia or not, but anyways, or unless if someone's like I said, a college educated person, and that's a privilege no matter what. In my opinion, that's a privilege. If you've been able to go to college and grow up in a good, safe environment where you have family members who are your blood kin, who love you, truly love you, and support you, not just kind of while you're living with them or whatever, you're their child or whatever, and they have a good paying job, not just financially support you because of society. That's kind of like how it was whenever I was growing up and stuff, because I wasn't neglected whenever it came to finances. I was actually pretty privileged whenever it came to finances and stuff. Now, whenever I got married, I was never privileged. I went financially, I suffered, and I've suffered ever since. I did not have no one to work a good paying job. I did not have a husband or a support system to work a good financially paying job. But those are the things that matters in life, about getting ahead and having nice things and even having a good life, because let's face it, the truth is the truth, and like living in poverty, you can't eat right, you're always stressed out, you're always worried. It causes domestic violence, having money problems, and so there's a lot of factors of being poor. It's expensive to be poor. People don't think it is, but it is. It's very expensive. It's very hard to be poor and not have like the basic needs that you have to have in life anymore. We live in a modern world. We have to have transportation. We're so spread out from places, and us human beings, mostly for the modern day times like it is, most of us are so out of shape ever since the internet took over and technology. We're not able to walk, and even if we was like physically fit and able to walk, like going to a doctor's office, just doing your daily routines, what you have to do, going and picking up your child or your children, taking them back and forth to school if they don't ride the school bus. I mean, just stuff like that. Going to a doctor's office and stuff. Or going to a grocery store. Could you imagine walking to a grocery store and then having to carry all your groceries? No, that's not possible nowadays, really. You know, so we live in a modern time. And then two, you have to have a phone. I don't have my own phone. I use someone else's phone. But I haven't had a phone since the year 2015, when the last one I had tore up, just because I can't afford one right now and stuff. And back a few years ago, because there is places that there's these tents that are set up, sometimes are on the sides of the roads and stuff, and it says on them like free phone and free phone service and all that. Well, everything like that is tied together. Everything's about paperwork too in life. It's something I've learned in my adult life. Everything is about paperwork. Sorry, I had something in my flip-flop. I'm walking out here in my pajamas and flip-flops. But I had a stick in my flip-flop. But anyways, everything's tied together. All the systems, whether it's a GOV system or not, they're all tied. And it's all tied to paperwork. Like, say you get food stamps. Okay, that's how you can get a free phone. Nothing's like how, I guess I should say, how I imagined it or whatever in life. Like, for instance, I thought if a person was poor or whatever, they should be able to get all this free stuff or stuff to help them out, you know, to better themselves, because that's where it should go to, is the people who's poor, you know. People who's poor, people who's homeless, the people who actually need things, who actually are not lying, the people who are struggling, you know, the people who can't work or whatever. But that's not the way it works realistically in life. I learned that a long time ago. But anyways, back on the food stamp stuff. Okay, so let's just say you qualify for food stamps. Whatever their rules is, or whatever, they always change stuff like that too. They change it up all the time. But anyways, even before so-and-so whoever's president, they're always changing that stuff. They changed that stuff on me back in, that's why I don't get food stamps. But they changed that stuff back on me back in April of 2023. That was the last time I got food stamps. But anyways, it was probably about, I would say it was about 3 to 5 years ago. I can't remember for sure when it was. But anyways, there's a cardinal. I don't know if you can see it at the tip of that pine tree up in there. I think cardinals are gorgeous. But anyways, if you qualify for food stamps, you can take your paperwork from your food stamps to one of those little tent things that they set up here locally. Now, I don't think that they do this in like cities and stuff, because back when the flood was going on, there was all kinds of people that came in here, you know, different people who would like try to help people get assistance on whatever it was with the flood. And one of those groups of people, I was talking to them one day, and they said that where they lived at, I don't know where they was from, but anyways, they said, I'm talking about the flood of July of 2022. But anyway, I'm sure the same stuff is still going on with the 15th of February 2025 flood. But anyways, they said that they was like in shock whenever I told them. I was like, people around here, they get free phones, and they get free phone service and stuff. It's, you know, and I thought it was nationwide, because I thought it was President Obama that came out with that, because everybody always made the jokes, especially around here. There was always like, oh, that's the Obama phones, you know, or whatever. Just like Obamacare, the medical insurance side of things or whatever. But anyways, they didn't know what I was talking about, because that didn't exist. I don't know where they was from. I just know it was a city or whatever in a different state. And they was like really in shock about it, me telling them all this stuff. Anyways, I did that one time. I went to a tent, and that was probably like anywhere, like I said, 3 to 5 years ago. And I went to a tent, and they always give you a choice. It's whatever they have on hand, I guess, or whatever. And it takes a while to get it too. It's usually not instant whenever you get it or anything. They usually like call you back or something. maybe a couple weeks later, just whenever they can get it or whatever. But anyways, they give you a choice of either getting it's like a cheap cell phone or like a cheap. It's not it's not like an iPad brand name. It's like a tablet, a really cheap tablet. And so the one time that I did it, like 3 to 5 years ago or whatever, I had to go with the tablet because they didn't have no more phones. Well, the only time that was good was, and that was the only time that thing was ever used, because you have free Wi-Fi on it and stuff, was during the flood of July 2022. Because I think that's the only time it was used. Because the only time it was ever used was one time when the power went off or something like that, and I had to use it for the Wi-Fi calling on it and stuff. So that was the only, and it was only used one time. That was the only time that tablet was ever used. And those things are so cheap, and which, I mean, I guess a lot of y'all might be thinking or saying, oh, how ungrateful, or people should just take whatever. But no, not if you think about it. It's kind of a waste of money. It's a big time waste of money. If you're trying to help out someone who's actually poor or whatever their circumstances is, if they're disabled and they actually need it, I'm talking about needing it. That's the big factor right there. That's what's wrong with the GOV, in my opinion, anyways. There's just been too much, even with the top dogs, the top of the top, the biggest wigs of them all, your billionaires or whoever. Like, you can start finding out and stuff, all the corruption and stuff. Everybody wants something for free. Everybody wants a handout. I don't care how rich you are. Everybody's like that for the most part. And stuff, you'll find not that many genuine people in life. Not that many honest people in life. Not that many good people in life. Most people will take the handout. Most people will take the freebies. And I know I'm doing a lot of ranting, but whatever. It's my channel. It's me. And anyways, but yeah, in my opinion, that's a big waste of money from the whoever supplies them free phones and tablets like that, because if they're going to be cheap and you're not going to get no much use out of them anyways, how's that supposed to help people who actually need a hand up, if that makes any sense? But that's just my opinion on that. And then too, back to the real estate. Whenever I still do, but whenever I look at real estate now, like I was saying before, probably about 10, 20 years ago, yeah, people used to, and this goes all over, this is not just rural Eastern Kentucky or nothing, but people used to look at mostly, like whenever the economy hadn't completely failed or whatever, people back then used to look, when they was looking for real estate, they used to look at kitchens and bathrooms, sometimes master bedrooms. Yeah, about how much space a place had in it, or how big a kitchen was or bathroom. And used to, I'm talking a couple of decades back, 20 years ago or so, used to, if you were looking for real estate like that, or if you were a realtor, back then, kitchens and bathrooms would sell houses. But now, in my opinion, the way the economy's so bad, and ever since the 2019, 2020 on up stuff, anyways, I think people was looking to get to work from home. The people who had jobs, they wanted to work from home, which I don't blame them, I'm not saying that. Or they wanted to get out of these bigger cities and into more smaller towns or more rural environments or whatever. And so I think that's pretty much whenever it started, and it just kind of completely flip-flopped over to locations is what sells real estate now. Location is everything about real estate right now. And if you think about it, like I was saying, they go hand in hand together. But your environment is the most important thing in life, because that's where you're going to be spending your life, outside of if you have to work or whatever your environment is. And that's what you're going to end up being, is whatever your environment is, or the people you have to be surrounded by, unfortunately. So I know a lot of y'all might look at me like, man, she is so ungrateful. Man, she is so bitter. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm perfect, because I'm not. No one's perfect. It's Jesus. And he's, he's here always with us or whatever. But I don't know how else to say it. I don't know. But, I don't know what I'm trying to say. But anyways, just, no one's lived my life for me. No one's known what my life's been about. No one's walked in my shoes. And no one could be able to walk in my shoes and carry what kind of burdens and stuff that I've been through in life besides me. I would love some of my enemies out there. I got a ton, and I'm sure I'll get more. But I would love some of the enemies that I've had to deal with and still have to deal with to some point. I would love for them to have to just had to walk in my shoes, because I know that they wouldn't have been able to. They would not have been able to. They would have been unalived a long time ago if they had to walk through in life in my shoes. They wouldn't exist no more. So only I'm strong enough, and I know I'm a strong person. I'm not a weak person. I might be a coward in a lot of other ways, but no, I am a very, very strong person. I'm a very strong woman. A lot stronger than a lot of females out there. Maybe not physically, not saying physically. And I might be a coward or fearful in a lot of ways, but I am very, very strong. Very strong person. I can deal with it. I've dealt with it before. I've dealt with worse things before. I'm strong enough. I will survive. I'm a survivor. That's for sure. Even if I'm just surviving every day of my life, I'm still a survivor. Some people are not strong enough to do that. And I am definitely a strong person. But it ain't no wonder that I become bitter. It ain't no wonder that I become a hater or I'm full of hate. It's not no wonder. I'm still in an environment that sucks for me and that I still think of as hell. I'm just trying my best every day, fighting that every day of my life and praying about it every day of my life, that something good, something better will happen for me and my daughters so we can get the hell up out of here. I don't want to be here no more than they want me around here to be here. But I'm not fearful of them. And it's not because they wouldn't do something. It's just that I don't fear them. I fear God. I fear the Creator. That's who I fear. That's who you're supposed to fear. And there is no worse fear than that. But that's the way it's supposed to be. Don't let these people get to you. These people who are your haters, your enemies, or whatever. Don't let them fill you full of fear. That's not the way it's supposed to be. Just go on trying to live your life the best you can. And that's what I do. But yeah, I hate my environment. My environment is hell on earth, in my opinion. and it sucks. I never wanted to be here all my adult life. I always dreamed about it as a little girl, like a lot of girls do, or a lot of girls my age probably back then used to do, especially people who grow up in rural environments. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with being rural or being from a country or nothing like that environment. It's just the people that are supposed to love you, the people who are supposed to support you, the people who are supposed to have your back. Whenever you don't have that in life, and I don't even care about the financial stuff, that's a whole different part of the ball game or whatever you want to call it. But if you don't have the money support either, you're screwed completely. But a lot of people will support you financially because of their image in their local society, because they think so much of it and they're so narcissistic. They want people to think that they're such wonderful, great people or whatever. So they won't let their reputation or their image be tarnished because of money or whatever. And they'll just throw it back at their children when they're highly narcissists like that. And they'll just be like, oh, look at how terrible our child is or whatever, because that's how they're narcissists like that, and they get the society and stuff to start thinking the same thing, or oh, that person's crazy and stuff like that. But no, we all know the truth, and there's always a truth to everybody. I got a truth, they got a truth, and then in the middle we got the Creator, and He knows the truth of it all. And I'm not ashamed. I'm not lying about nothing. And I'm telling my truth. And I'm being as honest as I can be about things. And that's how I've always been. So, anyways, I don't know where I was going with that, y'all. I was just ranting, just talking. But, yeah, it sucks. And they can't afford to buy me out. They cannot afford to buy me out. And if I was to leave now after everything that they've did to me, I would not sell this house or give this house back to them, no matter what. I would not. They don't deserve it. How they've treated me in my life, the differences they've made between me and my sibling. I know I'm an adult, and the differences that they continue to make between my daughters and their other grandchildren, and just anything to do with my sibling and his little friends, his girlfriends, his ex-baby mamas, his children's friends, whoever. It's just anything against me. So no, I would not. And they can't afford to buy me out. I know what real estate's like. And I will get into the rest of the real estate conversation with you all in a different video. But no, they can't afford to buy me out. I don't care how much money people think that they have. I don't care how much money that they think they have. They can't afford to buy me out. Even if my house is a crap hole. Even if I think my house is hell. They can't afford to buy me out. And I will not give this house back to them or whatever. And I will not sell this house back to them. I'll sell it to a stranger if they ever gave me the right price, what I want out of it. But that's not going to happen either. I'm being realistic about things. And nobody can afford to buy me out. So I ain't betting on that. And I ain't going to sell it to none of my neighbors either, including all my neighbors, whether they're kin to me or not. Nobody can afford to buy me out. But I'll finish telling you all and talking about that to you all in a different video whenever I talk about real estate some more with you guys and explain myself or whatever on why I'm saying that. But anyways, I'll get off of here. I've been on here way too long, and I didn't want this to be a ranting video. I'm sorry. All my videos here lately haven't been peaceful. They've been rants. And so it is what it is, though. That's life. there's a lot going on in life for all of us human beings, especially us on the poor side of things in life right now. There's a lot going on. There's a whole lot going on with a lot of people, and I know it can always be a lot worse. That's the thing in life. It can always get worse, and it can always be worse. There's someone out there in this world. Yes, there's someone out in this world. There's all kinds of people out in this world who are having it harder than what I am. But you know what? This is my life. This is my channel. I'm not them other people, and they're not me. And they're never going to be me, and I'm never going to be them. So I can only talk to y'all and be honest to y'all about what I'm going through, or what I've went through, or what I've experienced, or what I've seen other people experience in life. That's all I can talk to y'all about, is the honest to God truth on things, or my perception of my dealing with things in life. So I can't make up stories. In my opinion, I've never personally been much of a liar, but I've always been kind of an honest person, or a mostly honest person. We're none perfect on this earth. We're none 100%, even if you'll get these people out here, and I hate to say it, but the truth is the truth of what I've witnessed in my life, living in this part of the world or country or whatever. A lot of times you'll get people who claim that they're Christians, and they're like, oh, I wouldn't tell no lies. I wouldn't lie for nobody or for nothing. I wouldn't tell no lies. Yes, they would. That's the very ones that will lie, or they'll act like they're stupider than heck, so they think that they're not lying when they act like they're stupid, or they come off like they're dumb and stupid. They ain't that stupid, and they ain't that dumb. They just know how to play and work things to make it work in their favor. And they will too lie. I've seen it done before. They will too lie if it's for who they care about, who they love, who they support. They will do it. They will lie for them. And a lot of times too, especially with mothers, especially with females, and I'm a mother, I'm a female, but especially with mothers of boys or men, they will lie and hold up for their sons no matter what in life, and they will see no wrong whatsoever. And even therapists around here, not my therapist, because if my therapist said something like that, I would call her out and I'd quit going to her. But anyways, and my therapist, and I think she's smart enough, she knows better, but she knows that she doesn't have no children, so she can't relate to nothing like that. She's an only child, so she can't relate to anything when it comes to like motherhood or nothing like that, in my opinion. And I don't want to hear it from her. If she was to start saying stuff like that, I would definitely quit seeing her. I would call her out and I would quit seeing her. If she started giving me advice on mother, I'm not trying to be mean, but being a mother, just because she's got a degree, paperwork in something, or just because someone's got something like that, does not mean that they have life experience. And life experiences and stuff means everything. Whenever I sit and tell you that I can't empathize or whatever with you, it's not me trying to hate on you. It's just me trying to be, and it's not me saying that, oh, I don't feel sorry for you, like whatever situation you're going in or whatever. It's not that either. It's just because whenever I say it like that, it's because I've not went through that. So no, I don't know what that's like. So that's what I'm saying whenever I say I can't emphasize with you or something, you know? I might not be putting it in the right wordage or whatever, but that's what I mean whenever I say stuff like that. But y'all can tell I'm breathing hard because I'm so out of shape and I get upset easily. as soon as I start talking about this stuff. But realistically, that's all my life is. It's all my life's been since I've been an adult. But whenever I was a little girl, I think like most little girls, I always dreamed of getting a husband and the husband taking me away from my family. That was always my dream as a little girl. I did not want to live near my family. And I thought that would happen. Unfortunately, it did not. I always thought that the man you would marry, like it says in the Bible, like you would marry your husband, and your husband would be a good worker. Because I have to give it to my dad. He was a good worker when he worked. He always financially supported me whenever he worked and stuff. Now, I don't think he's a hard worker. I think he's lazy and stuff. I think he puts on a show, but that's my opinion. But since he don't work and stuff no more and stuff, even when he did work, he was a good worker at his job when he worked. But for him, in my opinion, to be an all-around good man, good worker, no, he's not that. He might be now that I'm not fooling with him. I don't know, and I don't keep up with him and don't care. But I'm done with people like that. They've done too much, said too much. I've let them buy with too much. So it is what it is. And I'm not dealing with them. I'm not having them in my life. As much as I can not have them in my life, I'm not having them in my life. I'm done with dealing with people like that. People like that will never change, and they don't. They never, ever change. They're still the same old. I have to be sensitive on what I say here on YouTube because YouTube is sensitive. But realistically, I cuss and I sin. And I cannot tell you or put it in words on YouTube the way that I feel about them. I have nothing good to say about them. If I have anything good to say about them people, I will tell you. And the only thing good I have to say about my parents, my mother, is she's a really good person when it comes to like crafts. She's really good at that. And she's also really good at cooking. And so that's the only things I can think of that she's good at, or nice things that I can say about her. Everything else is a lie, or it's fake. And the only thing I can really say about my dad is whenever I was a child and before I got married, he was a really good working provider at his job to provide for me and stuff. That's the only thing I got good to say about either one of them. That don't have anything else nice to say, so whatever. Take it as it is, or form your own opinions or whatever. I don't care, because this is the world that I live in, the environment I live in, and I'm the one who's lived it for 43 years. I know how they are. I know how I've dealt with them. I know how my children's had to deal with them. And even if my children don't look at it the same way I do, it's because they're younger. It's because they haven't seen through it yet. And it's because they've been brainwashed. And they're still having to live this environment. And they still care about embarrassing stuff. They still care about what people think of them. They're young. They care about what people think of them. They have their whole lives ahead of them. So obviously they care about their reputations and fitting in and what society thinks about them. And if you got half a society that thinks these people are such great, wonderful people, I mean, what does a person do in life? I don't know. Let me just get off of here and end this video. It's just too much to talk about for this video for right now. And this phone does not hold as much storage for me to do long videos like this anyways. It won't hardly let me go over an hour or so. and then it just cuts me off instantly, and I don't even know when it's going to cut me off. So anyways, I'll get off of here and end this one, and I'll talk to y'all about other stuff later on. Might continue to rant on this, who knows. But anyways, I appreciate the ones of you all who I have met on YouTube and have become friends with on YouTube online, who watch my videos and support me and support my daughters, because if you're supporting me, you're supporting my daughters, and that's who my family is. And I appreciate the ones of you all who do that, even if it's because you like to, I don't know, see me rant or whatever it is, you know. I appreciate y'all, and I will get off here and talk to y'all later. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.